Let's start with the market in general, though, because we talked about this, Maddie, on Motley Fool Money. The rise of interest rates, the 10-year Treasuries hitting a 7-year high, and not surprisingly, those more sort of those things that have been shoved in the corner for so long, bonds, are now suddenly more attractive, and we're seeing a healthy amount of volatility today.
Yes, the most volatility I think we've seen since February. I mean, it feels like it's been a while. As we tape, Dow is down about 400 points, and it's also just certain parts of the market. If you look at Netflix, for example, we were talking it's down more than 20% from its high. Amazon's down almost 15% from its high. I don't know what Facebook is, but Facebook's down, I think, even lower from its high. And so the leaders of the market, even before this sort of recent volatility that we've had the past week, have all come down pretty sharply. But this is... Jason and I kind of looked at each other this morning and were like, it's about time. Yeah. It feels like the stock market's been grinding higher steadily for so long this year and really going back several years now. And we haven't had as much as even a 5% pullback. That feels rare. So it's nice to see it because bonds do matter. Interest rates do matter. There's now more competition for stocks.
Man, I don't know what the problem is. I mean, everything's selling off. That's fine. But you know what is in the green right now, Chris? McCormick. I mean, the market knows that at the end of this day, especially at the end of this day, you're going to want to go home and have something flavorful for dinner. And chances are McCormick is going to be playing a part in that. Now watch it. We'll finish obviously down in the red after I've jinxed it. But
nice work.
Yeah, thanks a lot. It's Matt Frankel and I were talking about this on Monday's Industry Focus, and it is a point now we're seeing long-term rates start to push up a little bit. And the volatility comes into play because it seems like now the bigger institutional investors have these risk-adjusted options to invest in something other than stocks. And it makes sense. I mean, if you can get X return for basically zero risk, I mean, there are a lot of parties that are going to consider that. And so I think that for us, it doesn't really change our style of investing, but I think it is worth noting at least that if you invest like we do, chances are you probably have some nice growth names in your portfolio, and chances are pretty good that those growth names are getting hit pretty hard. It's worth noting that there has been a lot of great expectations pulled forward in a lot of those names. So those high growth names taking a little bit of a haircut today, it's okay. That's supposed to happen. What I think this really does, it makes the argument for diversification. Diversification is really what helps counter that. And I made a little bit of a joke with McCormick, but frankly, I mean, owning McCormick in my portfolio, I feel better knowing that I've got a staid dividend aristocrat to go along with those other high growth names that I hold as well.
I think it's a case for diversification, and Maddie, it's also a case for having a watch list. I mean, we talk about that a decent amount, and it's for days like this.
Absolutely. I about a month ago, I had a long list of stocks that I've been waiting to buy, and I've stupidly been waiting because they've gone up so much. and what I said was, you know what, I'm going to go in. I know a lot of these companies are at near their highs. They're up 100% over the last year. I'm going to go buy a little bit of each of them, and knowing that for days like this, or hopefully this downturn is a little sharper and I get even better prices, but knowing that there'll be a time for me to eventually double down into those, and that's why I have a watch list.
I'm going to make a promise to you right now, both of you guys. By the end of the day, I will have added to a position in something that I own. I don't know what it's going to be yet, but I'm going to click the buy button today. It's going to happen.
Share it later, though?
2 days after said transaction occurs.
Exactly.